Hello everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda. Today it is still drizzling outside, but we're going to go outside after I check on these plants and show you all what is going on in my lead pot. The plants in the lead pot are putting on some nice growth, and some of them have gotten so big that I want to remove the extra plants because I put 2 or 3 seeds in some of those little holes. So I'm going to remove those extra plants to give the stronger plants a better chance. I would take those plants out if I thought that those plants could, if I thought those plant roots would survive me pulling them out, but I don't think that they will because of the little tight sponge that they are in. I don't think that they will survive. So I'll just go ahead and I'm going to take my little snips and just snip off those extra plants. And this first plant is the Brass Atomic Grape. And so as you can see, this plant is larger. So I'm just going to remove these smaller 2 plants. The one next to it is the little gem lettuce. I must have just dropped 1 seed in that one because it only has 1 plant coming out. Now the third one is the toothache plant, and I really can't see it that good right now to tell how many plants there are. So I'm just going to leave that one for now. But this fourth one is the borage, and you can see this borage has gotten big. So I am going to need to remove one of these plants, and each plant is strong. I do wish that I could pull those plants out and remove them, but I'm afraid that if I did that, I would damage each of them. So I am just going to just cut one of them. All of them look very good and productive. I'm just going to cut one of those. Well, I'm going to cut 2. I'm just going to leave 1. And I'm going to take those borage leaves and dry them, because they are some nice healthy leaves. The next one is the echinacea. And I cannot tell how many there are right now of it either, so I'm just going to leave it. Now back here, I could go ahead and cut some of those right there, but I want to wait until, I could cut some, but I'm going to wait until it gets larger. This is the largest one, but I don't know exactly how it is yet, if that is the stem, if all of these are some of the same plant. So I'm not going to cut anything, because if it is the same plant, then I would be damaging that plant. So the next one is the feverfew. And as you can see, it is very tiny. They are very tiny plants, so I'm going to leave that one for now. And then we have some, the lamb's ear has not germinated. That would be lamb's ear right here. It has not germinated, so I am not going to even remove the lid from it. The next one is basil. It is right here. I'm going to leave it for right now also. Now this one is the lacinato kale, and as you can see, we have 3 stems back here. So we're going to cut 2 of them. I think I'm trying to leave the largest one. And so now we have our 1 plant of lacinato kale. We'll go ahead and take those off. Okay, so now we have our lead pot all taken care of, and we have, out of most of these, we have just 1 plant that is growing right now, and the other ones, we'll take care of them as they grow. And these plants will grow even more now that they are not in competition with other plants in that small space. The chickens are all excited because they want to get out and they are ready to eat. Y'all going out? mean these girls won't let you eat out the bowl? Tell them to let you in the bowl. These girls be bossing Kane around. They don't want Kane to get in none of the bowls. If Kane go to a bowl by himself, they all come over there. Okay, y'all, we got a lot of eggs today. I didn't count them, but I went ahead and I disposed of those eggs that were in there because they are not, they were bad. They were not producing any new chicks, so I got rid of them. And they were all marked, so these are unmarked, and these are the ones that we have that are good eggs. And so this is a 2-day total because we did not harvest the eggs yesterday. So it was raining all day and we just came out and fed the chickens and went back in. Is that a snake? I hope that's not a snake. Cause y'all, I saw a snake when I was coming out. And it's just very discouraging when you come out to work and see snakes immediately. So let me see, is this a snake? It was not a snake. But now I'm going to plant some radishes in my grow bags. Another one of the plants that are enjoying the cooler weather is this alyssum. This sweet alyssum is enjoying this weather so much. And the reason I know is because it looked pitiful all summer long. And now it is looking very good. Even the hostas struggle during the summer months, but they are looking much better right now. I think that we can all agree that we strongly dislike this leaf-footed bug. And this is why. Disrespectful. Here, chickens, y'all want some leaf-footed bugs? There you go, there you go. They can just feast on this plant. This is my goji berry. And they are just all over my goji berry. Now, but some help is on the way. These chickens gonna take care of it for me. And I'm supposed to be taking these plants to the north side of the house today, but it is still cool, so I think I'm gonna leave it right here. I can even tell that the onions have grown some. I'm going to leave these seedlings right here. There are some that I need to up hot today. And I think that it is going to be some that is in this container, some of this choy. And I can't do both, but some of the choy and some that is in this container. I'm going to try to do some. And y'all, I want to show you all that the greens that I planted a few days ago have germinated, the mustards and the turnip greens in this raised bed. With the eggplant and the pepper, they have germinated. Y'all hear thunder. I'm going to harvest this squash right here before the chickens get over here and start pecking on it. Diana was exactly right about me needing those clear row covers so I'll be able to see my vegetables without having to remove my row covers. And so I did order some of the row covers that are clear, and they're the ones, they are more for protection from the cabbage moth. This one is more of a row cover to protect from the frost. And so I have some on order, and they'll be here in a few days. So this is what our brassicas are looking like. You remember the chickens got in and they plucked a lot of these leaves off, but the plant seems to be making a comeback. So all's going to be okay with that. But I am going to cover it back up for now until my clear row covers get here, because the chickens are in the area. And you all be careful whenever you're removing your row covers, because spiders will get into those row covers, and you do not want to, run up on, you don't want to get bitten by anything. So be careful. I like to wear my gloves because of things like that. Sometimes it makes it hard to work when you have your gloves on. I wear the gloves for protection. Protect my hand from, if something like a spider is on some of this stuff, then they'll have to come through these gloves to get to me. If you look really close on this bed where I planted these mustard greens and turnip greens in with these eggplants, I did put some racks in here. So this hopefully will deter the chickens from getting over here and eating those little fresh green seedlings. And this pepper did not put on a single pepper all summer long, but now it is beginning to try the fruit. And here is another hosta that is looking beautiful now that summer is about to be over. It's surrounded by watermelon plants and tomato plants. This tomato plant was supposed to be part of one of those black mixes like Black Cream, Black Beauty, or some of those, but it is not. It is a red tomato. It has a lot of flowers on it, so I'm going to give it a little while to see if it's going to put off some fruit on all these flowers before I pull it out. I see that these racks are not deterring her from getting in here and eating these greens. Get out of there, Sophia. She is really going after it. I was too late to stop her, so she got this far. I might as well let her go ahead and enjoy herself. It look good too. I'm gonna take this one for me. I'll come back and get some of these peppers when I put on my harvest apron. And those two. And this is some soil that I have been just putting over here that I've gotten from some of my plants that I poured the soil out of when I'm planting. It's already been used. And I'm gonna put this soil into the bottom of my grow bags. Yeah, it is so funny the way these chickens are out here chasing down these grasshoppers. And they are catching them too. See if I can get this in here without making a big mess. Uh-oh. Well, it's a little mess, not a big mess. I need these chickens to get these grasshoppers too, because last year the grasshoppers were one of the problems that I had in the garden with my greens. They just literally ate those greens up. Okay, so that is half full. And then I'll fill it the rest of the way with some new soil. Okay, so I have this grow bag. I can never think of the name of it. I have this grow bag almost filled with some of the soil that I had been storing up that I am reusing. And so now I have some of my, I don't have to put but a small amount of my black gold on top. I'm going to add some of my amendments to this soil because I am planting root vegetables. I am going to need some bone meal to add phosphorus to this. These are going to help to produce some healthy roots. I'm going to add a little bit of the bone meal, I'm going to add a little bit of the blood meal for nitrogen. You don't want to add too much nitrogen when you're planting these root vegetables, because sometimes that nitrogen will cause you to just have a lot of leaves, and I want some beets and some radish. Also adding some of my garden tone vegetable food. I'm about to put these chickens back in the coop, because she over here scratching in my, oh my goodness. Get out. Get out. You got to go in the chicken coop, girl. Yeah, I got another one of these grow bags over there, just like this, and she over there scratching in it like she's scratching for worms. Probably thinking about taking a dust bath, so this might not be one of the good options for out here with these chickens, having a grow bag out here with this fluffy soil in it like this. We're gonna give it a try. So what I'm gonna plant in this bed right here, since I got it nice, fluffy, and I have my amendments in here, I got chickens around scratching everywhere, I have some radishes. I wanna plant these Japanese daikon. I'm gonna give these Japanese daikon another chance, and I'm also going to add some of my, I'm gonna add the plum purple in here with these Easter egg. Radishes, and these are, she done got, get out of there, Sophia. Get down. She in another bed now. And as I told you all, what I'm going to be doing with these radish seeds is basically sprinkling them on the top. There are not that many of these daikon radishes. I'm just going to put them on top of the soil. There weren't very many. And she coming to try to eat them. Get back. She come back. Y'all, these chickens trying to eat this stuff before I get it planted. She was like, seeds, seeds, thank you. Okay, so that was the daikon radish. And these are the Easter egg radish. There are a lot of seeds in here, so I'm just going to take a few of them and sprinkle them in here with these daikon radishes. So I'm going to have two different radishes that are going to be popping up in this bed, and that is the Easter egg and the daikon. I should be able to tell these apart because of the sizes. Well, because the Easter egg radishes are going to be different colors, and they'll probably have a smaller leaf than those daikon. Those daikons are supposed to get large if they grow, because last season I told you I don't think that they did that well. So I'm going to give them another chance. But I'm also going to go ahead and order me some more of these daikon radishes, because I really want to be able to get some daikon radishes. As I told you, those are the ones that I put in my kimchi and I roast them. So we're going to go ahead and get some more of those. So what I'm going to do now is to water it in. Okay, so I'm just going to water those seeds in. And I have a label. I got radishes on the front and daikon and Easter egg on the back. So we will know what is in that bed. And the next bed, I'm going to plant some beets in it. Some beets and some celery. So I'm going to also put some bone meal into this bed to help those beet roots you want to plant them to where they were in your container. This grow bag, I'm going to put some parsnips in it. And these are the parsnips that I am planting. The hollow crown parsnips from Baker Creek. Going to amend the soil with some bone meal for phosphorus, because this is another one of our root vegetables. So we are getting our root vegetables in, y'all. I'm excited about these parsnips. It may seem like I'm putting a lot of bone meal in there, but y'all, sometimes it takes it if you want to get some good roots. You can use bone meal, or if you have some pot ash, you can put pot ash into your containers. Also going to put some blood meal. Work these amendments into my soil. I don't know how I'm going to keep these chickens out of my grow bags, but I got to figure it out. Because I do want them to get out in free range in the garden. But I don't want them eating up all my stuff. I don't want them messing up my soil. I don't want them digging in my soil and eating up all my vegetables or my seeds. And y'all, they will try to eat the fertilizer, so you have to be careful with that too, because you don't want them eating the fertilizer. Although it is organic, but I don't want them eating it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put these seeds in here. That's a lot of seeds, but that's all the seeds I have. That's all the parsnip seeds. So I'm gonna water them in, help them get a good soil seed contact. And I want the soil to be on top of these parsnip seeds, so I'm kind of going to water, because these seeds are not very tiny. I put a lot of seeds in there. Try to wash them down and not all to one side. Now I'm just going to make me a label. Reuse one of these knives that I got over here that is not, there's nothing growing in that container. Those plastic knives hold up really good during the winter months. So I like to use them in the garden. I like to use them in the summer too. Only problem with them when you start pulling stuff out, they get all over the garden, and then you have to go back and pick them all up. But we're picking them up slowly but surely. We have 3 grow bags planted. We have one with parsnips. This one has beets and celery, and this one have daikon and Easter egg radish. And the more you work with the irrigation, the easier it gets. When I think of all the hours that I spent inside, sitting inside, watching TV, putting these parts together, y'all, I did not have to do that. I made it a whole lot harder than it really had to be. But I had to learn. That's the way I learned. I learned to do it the hard way. And so now I know how to do it the easier way. There are parts that I could do it that it would be easier than it is right now. But I just ran out of those parts. So I will order the right parts. Well, those are right parts, but there are some, it's different parts that make it easier for you. So once you learn those parts, then you order those parts and use them instead of those ones that are harder to go in. But be sure to keep plenty of these landscape staples on hand, because you will need those to hold your irrigation in place. One down, 2 to go. Get out of there. Go, 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 go. Get out. Go ahead. Yep, it's time for them to go back into the chicken coop, because I'm not being able to watch them. And they're eating up my vegetables. Y'all, it just started to rain. Y'all, guess I say it rained a lot here, but I am loving this rain. So for a while we weren't getting any rain, so I have really been enjoying this. Chickens will probably all run to the chicken coop. It's not raining hard yet. And these are the radishes. chickens were over here pecking in this bed. Okay, I'm going to need to put a hole in my 1/2-inch tubing that is right here. And then that's where I will be putting this. Then I will be connecting these two. I'm also going to have to put one of these on the end. This is just a plug that's going to keep the water from flowing out of the end, so that'll be that end. And then I'll have one of these other ones to connect. And I know I bought some. These are going to connect, and it has a hole on each end so the water will flow through. I'm going to add one to each one of these ends. And it's as simple as that. Now, put it into your bed. Eat my carrot seedlings. Y'all took a closer look. She's eating ants. Y'all ready to go in for the evening? Y'all got plenty of water. Is that everybody? Let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Somebody's missing. Somebody is missing. Who's missing? Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's everybody. This plant did not do anything this entire summer, but now look at it. It's looking very beautiful. Even my hydrangeas struggled in the summer heat, and now they are looking very good since I cut them back. And this is the cucumber plant that I recently pruned, and it is looking very good, and it has been putting out some fruit. Even this little knockout rose is showing out. Okay, y'all, so I didn't save the best part for last. I went to the post office today, and when I got there, I had a package. And inside this package were these pots. And they came from my friend, and she enclosed a note. So y'all know, if y'all put a note in here, I got to read it because Y'all, these notes are special to me. Y'all are special to me. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. She said, enjoy your gift. Thank you for all the amazing information for the new growers out here. I just used these in my small garden for the first time, and hopefully these will do us both some good and save a few steps. From Tiffany here at Tess. So I appreciate these pots, and I am about to pot up some stuff in these right now. And y'all know these are the ones that once you pot your plants up in them, you can just plant these straight into the ground. So you're definitely right. They are going to save us some steps. It's biodegradable, and it is good for the environment. So thank you so much, Tiffany. I appreciate you, and I am getting started up potting some of my plants right now with these containers. So I'm just going to use my, I got to use my black gold, because I told y'all what happened with that other potting mix. And I hate to keep harping on it, but y'all, it's best to go ahead and get what you have tried and you know it's true. Go ahead and get your good potting mix for your up potting of your plants. So I'm just going to fill my containers with some of this soil. And this soil has been sitting outside, so it is moist, but I'm going to moisten it once I get them all filled up. What I'm going to be potting up today are my beets. I'm potting up more beets. So I am really trying to get more beets. I've been planting beets, but I've just usually planted a few beets in my garden during the fall. And, it had been enough, but last season, y'all, we did not get enough beets, so I'm excited about planting up more beets since we are learning more ways to use the beets, because at one point, the only thing I was doing with my beets were, we weren't eating beets fresh. We were mostly canning the beets, pickling them. So now, since I've learned that beets are great roasted, we will be roasting more beets, and I will be planting more beets. So I am going to go ahead and get these potted up. And I'm going to fill this tray with these beets. So that way I can save some of my containers for another vegetable. And since these are biodegradable, that we really won't have to disturb the root of these beets. Once we get them planted, once they are ready to go into the ground, we just will take them out and put them into the soil. So that is a win-win once you don't have to disturb those roots. And then I'll make sure I plant them out early enough so that those roots won't become root bound and have, problems moving out of the container once they get into the soil. So all those things are very important. But as I said, these are biodegradable, so that means that they just will basically turn to soil. I'm excited about them. I think it's a win-win, Tiffany. So I hope that it does well for you and your garden, and that you will have a very productive fall season in your garden. So it is time to start getting ready to start thinking about your onions and your garlic. If you have not already decided where you're going to get them from, it's time to make that decision on where you are going to get them. As I told you all before, although I have onions planted around there, I'm probably still going to get some from Dixondale Farm because of the fact that they did marvelous last year. And to be honest with you all, our onions the onions are leaving fast because, as I told you, I gave away a lot of my onions. So yeah, we're gonna be buying onions, but it's okay. That just lets me know that really you can't plant enough, because you would think that I planted enough, but I told you I'm just not planting for myself. I'm planting also for friends and for my family. Okay, so I'm just pulling out some of these beets. And I'm going to go ahead and show you all what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm pulling out these beets, and just want to separate I'm gonna moisten my soil. It helps to moisten that soil. And gently pull your roots apart. That one's small, but I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in. Now that one is bigger. Well, that's 2. And just pop it into the soil. And push that soil around those roots. I'm kind of using my finger as like a dibber. You can push a hole in there with your finger and pop it in. Either way will work. Push your soil in around it. So now we have a complete tray of beets planted that fast. I'm going to give them another spray of water. And we're going to leave them around here on the north side of the house so that they can go ahead and start looking better. I'm going to show you all my Dusty Millers. They have germinated. These are my purple cauliflower seedlings, and they're looking really good. This is what the dill and the choy that I up-potted are looking like. And these are the Dusty Miller seedlings that I recently planted that Cynthia sent me. I did some that were the pelleted seeds, and then I did some that were the regular seeds. So I think this was a very productive day. We were able to get some of our radishes planted. We got our parsnips planted. We planted some beets and some celery. And we got more beets up potted. So I think that we got a lot done today. And thank you again, Tiffany, for these wonderful pots. I am sending you a hug. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So I hope that you all have enjoyed this video and that you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. And as always, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.